Hi, I'm Tom Scioli, author of Fantastic Four Grand Design, Godzilla's Monster Piece Theater, both of which are on sale now.
I'm Matt Scioli.
And I'm also the author of an upcoming science fiction original graphic novel called Space Opera Xanadex Across the Unknown Dimensions of the Galaxy. It's a long title. It's a long book. It's not coming out until like August, so it's still a ways away. I saw it's being listed on various online booksellers and brick and mortar booksellers. Like it's available for pre-order on some of those. So I'm still working on it. It's shaping, growing, evolving, the kind of stuff that I'm really into. I mean on our channel we do a lot of science fiction talk. We've been doing a lot of Star Trek talk recently, and we've done Star Wars, Aliens, like all kinds. And that that space opera genre really is my favorite genre. So for this comic, I wanted to do something in that vein where like just pulling from all the threads. It's got space pirates, it's got cyborgs, mutants, it's got space battles and
I can't wait. Stuff. This is so great, Tom.
Thanks.
I'm so pumped, and heck, I'm gonna go online and pre-order it.
Awesome. Yeah, get those pre-orders up because again, it's like I just finished Godzilla's Monster Piece Theater, and like I do these sort of corporate properties, these franchises, whatever you want to call them, but then every now and then I try to do something that's like an original, like something that's uniquely mine, that is sort of created from whole cloth. So this is
Tom. I love your work so much.
Oh, thanks.
I really do, and like I reread Godzilla for the third time.
Oh, cool.
So I'm stoked for this. I will be pre-ordering it.
Yeah, from what I understand, the issue 1 of Godzilla's Monster Piece Theater is like going for big prices now. Like I think demand exceeded supply. It was sort of like a surprise hit, which I think most of my things are. Like I do something and I try to like beat the drum as hard as I can and let people know, hey, this really cool thing is coming that I'm working on. I've got a track record. I've got all this high quality stuff. And then it's like, whatever. And then it's like, it becomes a huge hit. And it's like, what? So I don't know why it's such a shock every time. So that's why I'm trying to get ahead of this Space Opera Xanadex. So the thing is, like, if the pre-orders are strong enough, then everybody who wants a copy gets a copy. But if the pre-orders aren't strong enough, you have to kind of guess what the demand is going to be. You have to guess. So strong pre-orders means, they're going to print more copies, make more of it available.
I remember watching the Golden Girls, and it was during Batman Mania, and B. Arthur was like, I just saw one person punch a perfect stranger for a Batman hat at the store. Yeah. So somebody's like, they're fighting in the store, like...
Yeah, over the last copy of Godzilla's Monster Piece Theater #1. Yeah, so, and yeah, I mean, it's like just a really cool action adventure. It's got a huge ensemble of various characters. It's sort of like its own universe in this one book. It's listed. It's 208 pages.
Wow,
like the book is 208
awesome.
pages, so pretty
Holy
substantial.
Cow, that's great.
Especially for one of my sort of like original sci-fi kind of concepts. Like it is an epic in every sense of the word, and I am spending I'm just hard at work at it. When you're not seeing me here, you can assume that's what I'm doing is just, working hard. Yeah. I have these like recurring dreams, and I need to talk to some other comics creators and see if this is like a common dream for comics creators. But I have these recurring dreams where I'm working on a comic. I've got piles and piles of like artwork that I've been doing, and then I start losing track of some of it and not and all this great stuff. And then I have to assemble the book, and then I'm assembling the book and I can't find, this stack or that stack. And then it goes to press. And then I realize, oh, there's like huge chunks of it that I had ready to go, and I just couldn't find like a place for them. And then I get the book back, and there's like blank pages throughout it. And so it's and I have this dream again and again, and I guess it's from having made so many books. Like that's just your fear, is that how do I fill this? But like I have this book I gotta fill. That it's a lot of work. I mean, these like graphic novels and stuff, they're a marathon, not a sprint, you know. And the publisher is Image Comics. So
Wow.
returning to Image Comics, I did Jack Kirby's Star Warriors,
Love that one.
starring Adam Starr and the Solar Legion. Another long
Your titles
title.
are awesome.
Yeah,
man. So good.
I did that one with Image, and it was a success. And it was a surprise hit again, like completely sold out the print run. So hopefully this one won't be as much of a surprise hit. It'll be a hit they see coming, and make sure, you know, there's like enough copies for everybody.
Great title. I like seeing X's in like a character's name.
Yes, an X at the beginning and an X at the end, like Xander Drax.
Drax from the the Phantom.
The Phantom, yeah.
Yeah, we love it. Or international.
You Treat Williams.
Treat
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
The late great Treat Williams.
Or international pop star Shusha.
Yeah.
One of my favorite flakes, Triple X State of the Union with Ice-T.
But yeah, it's got like all the space opera ingredients: space pirates, cyborgs, cosmic mafioso.
Dude, I'm salivating. This is, oh God, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and again, like I'll have more details, you know, as it gets closer. But this is, you know, just kind of like I saw the listing of it on like online booksellers and stuff, so I was kind of like, oh, okay, you know, this and there's like a ranking too, and it's kind of like all of these different algorithms sort of inform each other. So it's like, you know, it's early, it's the pre-orders. You could almost be like, oh, what's it matter? But it's like, if it gets high enough in the pre-orders, then it gets sort of, you know, these websites sort of showcase it more.
Yeah.
You know, they come up in search results more. It bumps it up. So then, you know, by the time the book's ready, and then when, you know, the traditional comic book retailers start, you know, putting in their orders and stuff, you know, people start pre-ordering with them. It's all like, it all builds off each other. So it's like, you know, so that when the book comes out, it's like they have a pretty solid idea of how many copies of this thing they're going to need to print. Because I mean, if you are a fan of my work and you know my work, you do see that so much of what I've done goes for like insane prices online. Like a lot of my stuff is super expensive, you know, out of print and stuff because because
Demand
exceeds. Yeah, because it's like, you know, there's sort of these things that kind of sometimes, you know, sometimes fly under the radar or whatever. I mean, that's just how it is in comics in general. Like, how do you get word out about a comic book? You're not, you're not advertising on TV or whatever. But they come in under the radar, and then word gets out that, hey, this thing's awesome, you got to get it. And then before long, they're just hard to find. So Myth of 8 Opus goes for like insane high prices. GoBots, like the GoBots trade goes for crazy high prices. The Transformers versus G.I. Joe hardcover goes for crazy prices. And then even, again, I'm seeing crazy prices on, you know, Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater, issue 1, at least. That's the one where it's like everybody wants that one. And from what I think they're sold out. Good news, though, there is a Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater trade paperback, like, you know, collecting the whole series on the horizon.
I'll be picking that up as well.
Yeah, it'll have some cool extras in it, too. As far as I can tell, just from like the conversations I've had, make it worth the purchase if you already have the single issues.
I had gotten an extra copy. I was gifting I purchased extra copies of Godzilla for my buddy Andrew, friend of the show, Higher Ground, Discoverer, and he he said it's like the best thing he's read. Like, he can't remember the last. He was obsessed with the Greatest Gatsby. He's like, this is like, and he's like, oh my God, this is, because like he had the same like sensibility. He's like, I love the mummy talking in hieroglyphics, like just like he's just delicious.
If you like this show, I think you'd like Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater for sure.
So he said it kicks ass.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, that's consistent with what I've been hearing. I mean, it's all anecdotal, but the editor, the publisher, they're all super happy with it, and just people I meet at conventions and whatever. It's like you can sort of tell when you did something that's connecting. You know, you tend to some things you hear about more than others, and some things you hear with like more enthusiasm than others. And I'm hearing like a lot of enthusiasm about this and Jack Kirby's Star Warriors. I hear a lot of like great stuff, like people telling me how much they loved it and stuff, and that's really good too, because it was a very quirky project. It was something that like meant a lot to me and was important to me, and that the people at Image Comics were excited about it too. But I was curious, like it's such a such sort of like a unique niche project. I wondered, is anybody else going to care? And the answer was yes. It was, it went over really well. So
I see images from Godzilla in my mind's eye
cool.
every day, like sitting staring into the middle distance, seeing that.
Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater. I'm really excited about the success that it is, and I want it. I want them to sell 1 million of them. Like I want it to do like really well as possible. But the difference between Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater and Space Opera Xanadex Across the Unknown Dimensions of the Galaxy is that, like I've already been paid for Godzilla. Like that's any money that I'd make off of that, I've already made. Like they gave me, so if it sells 1 million, if it sells 1 zillion, I don't see a penny of that. Like it doesn't, like that wasn't the deal I made. That's the deal you make with sort of a licensed property like this. But Space Opera Xanadex, I get paid entirely dependent on how many it sells. So like, if you want to help me out,
let's get it going.
Here's one way you can sort of help me out. The page count kept growing with it, because as I worked on it, it was sort of like, okay, it's going to be like, this many pages. And then I was like, you know what? There's like these characters over here and this storyline over here. And it's like, I feel like there needs to, like that just as a reader myself, like I want to see more of these characters. I want to see more of this character, and so I wanted to like add different, and so it kind of grew and grew and so now it's like growing and growing. And my wife was talking to me. She's like, as I keep working, like something that I thought maybe was like close to being finished, it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, no, there's still more I want to do. And my wife was asking me, she's like, so are they paying you for those extra pages? And I'm like, they're not paying me anything. Like this is creator owned stuff. This is Image Comics. I'm not being paid shit for any of it. It's if the thing sells, then I get paid.
Yeah.
If it sells really well, then I get paid really well. If it doesn't sell really well, I might get paid nothing. But it's like, when you believe in something, when you and again, it's like, those are the trade-offs. You can do something like Godzilla where I pour 150% into, I give it my all because I just want to make cool comics, and then I get paid sort of what they're able to pay me for it, and then that's it. And then you have things like Fantastic Four Grand Design, which is sort of somewhere in between. It's like I get paid, and then if it does really well, I get paid more, but like it's not the same kind of scale as when you own the thing. When you own the thing, it's like, you could get $0, or you could get some crazy amount of money, or anywhere in between. So,
wow, I didn't know the scale like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. And again, I just love making comics. So it's like, whatever gets me motivated to make the comic, that's what matters. And sometimes it's like, somebody saying, give us 40 pages and we'll give you this amount of money. It's like, yeah, that'll do it. And then sometimes it's like, I really have this story I want to tell, and it's Godzilla existed before I came around, before I made my Godzilla. Like I made something new that never existed before that's really cool, but it was made out of these already existing pieces where, Space Opera Xanadex is like, it's me creating something from whole cloth. And like, that's the ultimate. Like that's just so much fun.
It goes from Godzilla to now Space Opera Xanadex is going to become my obsession for the.
Oh, very cool.
When that
very cool. Yeah, there's so much to love in it. Like it really is like, this like sort of immersive universe and these really
fun
my language
characters.
Really, and again something completely new. So.
That's awesome. And what is the tentative date on that?
Yeah, the date, I think it's like August. I'm not a great person on anything with numbers. Is like sort of
Forget
beyond
about
me.
it.
But yeah, so but yeah, again, more information coming in the
Gives me
future.
something to look forward to at the end of the summer.
Yeah,
Into
exactly.
the
Yeah,
fall.
because again, it's such a bummer when the summer starts
And-
coming to an end. But here, you know, you might want to fast forward through the summer. You might want to, you know, kind of skip to the good stuff.
That page count's scintillating. Like,
Yeah, it'll be a nice healthy book. It'll be and then like my other series that I did at Image Comics with Joe Casey, Godland. It's kind of like that was an epic too. That was like 3 huge
I never read
hardcover
that.
volumes. Yeah, I can give you a copy of it. But yeah, it's 3 big fat hardcover volumes. So it's kind of cool doing another sort of like sci-fi epic, big fat
Ooh,
book
yeah.
over at Image Comics. One last time, it's Space Opera Xanadax Across the Unknown Dimensions of the Galaxy
Hell
from
yeah.
Image Comics by me, an all new, you know, creator-owned comic. So
and I'm sure we'll be talking about it more
Yeah, we'll
on the
talk
Total
about it
Recall
more.
show here as it gets down the road.
And yeah, you can pre-order it at you know, all those you know, book selling you know, websites and brick and mortar stores too that you're familiar with. So
Well, congrats on
Thanks.
This is awesome.
yeah, I mean, just like I hate to give a shout out to like massive corporations, but yeah, it is like you know, it's listed on Barnes and Noble on their website, and it's listed on Amazon for now. It's going to be listed other places, and it's going to be available in comic book stores. So as those listings come a little later, like the booksellers need to get those numbers like a little earlier than like the comic book stores. My top preference is always that people order my stuff through a comic book store. Support your local comic book store. Keep those places going. You know, I love comic book stores. They're such, you know, like such a valuable resource. But I do know that, you know, just things being what they are, a lot of people live in areas that are not serviced by comic book stores. So you know, if that's the case, then yeah, by all means, please you know, go to those online retailers and pre-order it to help jumpstart that algorithm.